Welcome, Capcom audience, to the Capcom Arcade Cabinet. It's part of Capcom's 30th year celebration, and we've got some great arcade titles on PSN and XBLA. Here to talk through them today, I have at great personal expense travelled back to the year 1987 to bring you Sam Conisby. Hello, Sam.
Hi, Neil and Capcom audience.
There we go. Now, Sam, of course, is on hand to describe what it was like in the 80s. Not really, of course. Sam is just around my house when I'm recording this video. First off, we're going to start off with 1943. So all three of these games today are available as part of the 1987 pack for Capcom Arcade. And we're going to start with 1943, otherwise known as a relentless action scroller. Well, part of a long-standing series, and everyone must have had a shot of 1943 or one of its similarly numbered cousins.
I know, I did, and yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's pure action, start to finish. I mean, it literally. I don't think we at any point let go of the fire button.
If you're wondering, if you're watching this live on the day it goes up, in this year, 1987, Bon Jovi's "Living on a Prayer" was number one. So
Living on a Prayer.
Living on a Prayer. I can imagine many all-night sessions in an arcade with a fistful of 20p's.
Yeah, I imagine half the 20p's going into 1943, and the other half probably playing some of Mr. Jovi's number one hit at the time. I also imagine the arcades had a lot of denim jackets in them.
You'd have been wearing plenty of... The era of the new romantic was over. It was time for hair metal.
Hair metal.
So I can imagine you there in a grimy arcade in your denim fades.
Yep, denim fades, hair down to my shoulders.
Rick Astley on your Walkman. Never Gonna Give You Up was first released in 1987. Did you know that?
Was it?
Well, you should know. You're from the 80s.
Playing 1987's video games they were very hard. You know, when you're playing a scrolling shooter game like this and then planes start sneaking up behind you unannounced, yeah, you know you're in for a challenge.
You know you're gonna have to be Top Gun to take them on.
Top Gun, yeah.
Alright, that's enough hanging with the boys for 1943. Single player or two player, very brick hard. Let's see what's next in the arcade cabinet. Alright, next we have Avengers, which takes place in Paradise City where the grass is green and the girls have been kidnapped by an evil kung fu villain. The literal translation in Japanese for this title is Deadly Ruffian Fist.
So, I think we've got a bit of a bum deal, if I'm honest. Yeah.
We're both quite stocky young chaps there. I am playing Ryu and you were playing Ko.
Ko. Yep. As in co-op.
Very good, very good. Again, Avengers single player or co-op.
A tricky scrolling beat 'em up, this one.
Brutally difficult. I don't think I've ever been headbutted to death as much.
I mean, that happens a lot as well. I mean, in whatever training academy that these evil doers came from, they focused heavily on the headbutt attack. As you can see, you'll see it several times. The cloned enemies will grab your character and just headbutt them until you either manage to pull away or you die in their arms.
So Avengers has about 6 stages in it.
Yeah, the Forest of Treachery was undoubtedly our favourite level. Seems to have a snake infestation problem.
Way too many snakes in the jungle.
I mean, literally at all times there are about 8 or 9 snakes on the screen. Incredibly treacherous jungle, that one.
All hissing away, trying to give you a little snake bite. Just adds to just how tough this game is.
Yeah, I mean, literally, basically every single thing that moves on screen is trying to kill you. Normally by grabbing you and headbutting you to death, but you know, you'll get swords thrown at you, little knives. Ninjas show up at one point. It's a tough game, especially the boss fights.
It does get very, very busy on screen as well.
Yeah, very, like there are times when there's a good sort of 15 or 20 even enemies all just milling around trying to kill you, which is when that sweet roundhouse kick comes into play.
Avengers does have its environmental pitfalls.
Yeah, we were playing through and Neil thought he'd spied a sneaky route down the side over a bridge, only for it to collapse beneath him. Schoolboy mistake.
Yeah, I'm quite used to structures given away beneath me, but it is quite fun kicking your enemy off cliffs and such.
Yeah, no, there's a level, you're making your way along the cliffs of Paradise City, and every so often you'll just catch an enemy on the side and give him a boot, and there's a little animation of him falling away off the cliffs.
Nice little touch.
Great little touch.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how harder would you say Avengers is harder than 1943?
Well, we completed Avengers, granted with a lot of continues, and figuring out the bosses is the hardest part because they've all got rhythms to them and little techniques. Like there's one boss on a bridge that you can only attack when he's jumping away from you. The guy in the forest with the snake, where he jumps out of the water, but only when he started attacking you are you able to attack him. It's very, very difficult. I'd give it an 8. I'm going to give it an 8.
An 8. Very fun game. Lots of different colourful stages. Lots of different colourful bosses. Great soundtrack too.
Great soundtrack. Great. Right, with each level's got its own individual little song, all of which I think Neil wouldn't be ashamed to say had us dancing away in the front room.
It's all good. All the soundtracks have been remastered as well, so if you're a fan of 8-bit, 16-bit, get involved.
Who isn't?
Who isn't? Right, that was Avengers. Now on to something else. Alright, time travelling Sam Conisby. It comes to Black Tiger. Single player this one, but perhaps the pièce de résistance of the 1987 pack for Capcom Arcade. Good God, this one's hard.
Yeah, Black Tiger is by far the hardest game in the 1987 pack.
It might be the hardest game ever.
I think the first level, you fire it up, the first level is basically used to introduce you to the fact that this game will attempt to cheat you into death at every possible opportunity. From boulders that just fall out, just appear out of nowhere and kill you as soon as they hit you. You know, chests, which, as we all know in 80s gaming, if you found a chest that meant loot lies within. This is going to be a nice little reward. I'd say 9 out of 10 chests in Black Tiger are traps that immediately surround you with fire. Enemies hide in vases. As you can see, snakes adorn every column in the game. It's hard.
You can't find a column without a snake on it.
No, nowhere. It's hard. If you mess up a dungeon level in it as well, every so often there's a little side thing that you can go off into, which is like a little dungeon within the game. If you die within that once, that's it. It's locked. You cannot go back to it until you reset the game.
I did like the little shop mechanic. I like it when you rescue wizened old men, they will sometimes invite you into their shop to buy armour and weapons.
Yeah. Completely pausing everything that's going on around them, and the fact that you've just unencased them from a tomb of stone. They'll suddenly, they'll thank you. They'll say, cheers, thanks for saving my life. Now buy some stuff from me.
Yeah. Thanks for the rescue. Buy my wares.
Yeah. Buy my armour and weapon upgrades.
I mean, or don't. The choice is up to you, but you're going to be pretty stuffed if you don't.
You're without at least the minimum armor, you will get nowhere in this. Are there any speedrun? Like, I want to see a speedrun of this game, or someone who actually back in the day properly learned it and can now just fly through it, because I think that would be the greatest achievement that mankind has ever. Yeah, in the history of mankind, a speedrun of Black Tiger is the pinnacle.
I think only Capcom's own Ghosts and Goblins coming soon to the Capcom Arcade is harder than this one. This is by far one of the hardest games I've ever played.
There's a harder game than this.
Yeah.
What?
Why did you even waste your time playing this one when there's an even harder?
Why was I getting mad and angry at this in your front room when there was something harder and more challenging for me to take on?
Alright, you've played the 3 games in the 1987 pack.
Yeah.
Favourite game?
Black Tiger. I've got to say, despite the challenge, it was getting through to the next level was rewarding. Something that there isn't enough of in modern games.
Alright, so your favourite game was Black Tiger. Hardest game of the three?
It's between Avengers and Black Tiger. It's probably Black Tiger though, because Avengers you can see what's coming and you can do something about it, whereas Black Tiger just sort of dumps it on you and goes, "Ha, you didn't see that coming, did you?"
Them's were the 80s. Okay, and talking about the 80s, it's time for you to travel back in time.
Hop back into our
Capcom branded DeLorean.
Capcom DeLorean, which is in actual fact the motorbike from Dead Rising 2.
Sweet. Alright, it's time to take you back to the 80s. I will see you next time for more Capcom Arcade Gems.
Can we do the alternate ending transition from Wayne's World 2 to sign this off?
Alright, it's time for Sam to go back to the 80s. I will see you next time for more Capcom Arcade Hits. See you later. I've got no transition to use for that. I might put a star wipe in.
Star Wipe's wet.